3. 1, 2, and stop. To the side. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Okay, hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right, to your left, center, inhale, exhale. Okay, hands up. Reach down. This thing gets hung up on when I bend. To your right, or to your right and to your left, center, inhale, exhale. Okay, hands up. Reach down. To your right, to your left, to your center, inhale, exhale. Okay, we'll do it one more time. Hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right. 2, 3. To your left. 2, 3. Center. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, hands in your waist. Rotating. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Okay, cross. Bend your knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, and stop. Okay, hands on your waist. Neck turning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center. Tilt to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center. Rotating. 1, 2, 3. Reverse. 1, 2, 3. Center. Hands up. Pull in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, spread your feet. Turn your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so stretch it out. Floor look a little cleaner. I dusted it. I dusted the floor. Looks a little cleaner, huh? I used that big dust thing. It needed it. Switch. 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 Straighten the front knee. Switch. 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 Center. Okay, shake it out. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, hands in waist. Shoulder roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Okay, press, release, exhale, inhale. And stop. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, wrists. Reverse. Okay, palms down. Bigger circle. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Okay, shake it out. Okay, let's shift, get balancing up. Okay, we lift the leg. and center. Okay. Now, on the opposite side, you know, this is the same side, golden cockerel, but on the opposite side, when you lift up, and this goes up. So this is more like insert needle. So when you go up, this is like this side is pulling this leg up. 1, 2, 3. And then on the other side, it's 1, 2, 3. But typically insert needles on the inside, so it would be like this. Again. So here, you're going to lift up. This is lifting up opposite, opposite, and it's good. So that helps you balance and build some coordination too, you know. So, and that's like doing a little bit of a squat on one side. So it's actually good for the leg. Yeah. Okay, deep breathing. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, now we're going to swing the leg. Ready? And center. Okay, switch. And center. Side to side. Switch. And shake it out. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, silk drilling. And switch. Other direction. Okay, open and close. Switch. Okay, center. Preparation. Okay, lower hoop. Rounding out. Shoulder height. Elbows down. Lower hoop. palms down. Okay, deep breathing, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay, diagonal flying. Switch. Okay, cloud hands. Okay, lift up, carry tiger to the mountain. Okay, infinity sign. switch, hold the, form the fist. Okay, strum the lute, palms together. Okay, turn, draw the bow. Okay, fan through the back. Okay, raise the hand. Okay, palms down. Okay, deep breathing. Inhale. exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay, good. So go through sequence. We'll shift this way a little bit, I guess. Alright, ready? Okay, shoulder width preparation. Okay, deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So we've got a few more minutes to work on the some drill. I worked on it this morning. It was a drill on the right and left beginning style and how to, as a drill for, all drills are used for reinforcing your movements and a lot of repetition with the similar movements, because when you do the form and you just focus on getting through it, sometimes you can't really appreciate some of the details that you could be with a simple drill. So let's go to strum the lute position. Bring the hand like this, and this is your beginning style transition. So the order of movement is like this, right? So this is something that either can be taught to a new student as they evolve. First, you break it down into segments, right? So strum the lute is this. Press and alternate the shoulders is this. And then when you switch and move to the other side and flip, that becomes beginning style as a transition, right? Now in the feet, we hold our hands like this. Shoulder width is measured like this. Square is like this. Shoulder width is that stance. 45 is toeing down, kicking the heel out, and turning this way, right? Going forward and back and turning back again is just practicing the toe-heel relationship, your forward and backward movement, you're pivoting toward the front and adjusting the other side, right? So this is the same transition you would use when you're in stork flap swings for legs, but it's also your 180-degree turn, right? In 90-degree increments, right? So a full turn would be pigeon-toed, shift your weight and go all the way around, and then the opposite happens. But if you break it down into quadrants, it just defines the space a little better. Now, if we're in this position, that's your right side, there's your left side. The left side, if I pivot this way and I go to forward position, okay, and then sit back and I turn back and then switch, I'm on the opposite side, flip your elbows, stroke down and move to the right. So you would see that that's a transition to get to grasp the sparrow's tail, typically in the form, right? Then when you go forward and you go back, this sustains this position, your press position, and then you change here, you flip your elbows, stroke down, move this hand to center, and then replace this hand to here, and you go forward. Now you see what we're doing is learning to integrate the body and also defining the transition and getting the body and the hands to be working together, right? Okay, and then you're here, we turn, we flip, we stroke, and then you move to here. Now we're doing this and then flipping here and stroking down. Then we start to merge to the opposite side. So it depends on when you flip and switch your hands. So that already appears that we've changed the movement, but it's actually the same. Okay, so that gives you an idea that you can refine the geometry and positions and sustain your positions with more of a consciousness of your movements. And all those little maneuvers are actually beneficial to the fact that if I'm here and I flip and I go like this. This is also the option to convert to brush, knee, and push. Then we go back to center. So palms down. So those little maneuvers and transitions are very helpful for practicing, but it seems like it goes down to real grassroots basics, but the thing is those basics are so critical as you evolve. If you don't house those reference points in your body, then it's just a totally random thing sort of for someone that's new. So because Kim just came, let's just do that again. We have time. Yeah, we'll do that again. So we start off and strum the lute to give you a breakdown of what vertical elbow is. We have one on each side. This is how we always start off, right? And strum the lute. Then once you determine the right and left strum the lute position, then the next thing we do is alternate the shoulders, right? So this is the course of building, right? And then we go to the other side and we build the alternating elbows. Okay, then when we do the legs, we have this idea: 1, 2, 3, 4. To learn that the legs have a relationship as well as the arms. So here you're going from substantial and insubstantial, filling and emptying, and then you always move the unweighted foot, right? So when we shift and pivot, sit and pivot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You really control your movement on a level of consciousness just on focusing the legs. Now once you get back to square, and we go to the vertical triangle position and we separate the hands, the left hand becomes this side. The horizontal is on the appropriate side, and then we sit back and turn back to the front. Now we turn and turn again. We flip the elbow, stroke down, move one hand to center, then move the hand to the right side. Now you're in the opposite stance. You go forward, back, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it starts to build a sequence of events. So there is an order to the motion because there's a relationship to the upper and lower body. While you're moving your hands and your legs randomly, you really don't have a relationship. It's just happening because you memorized it and you saw it happen. But when we break it down to this, then you have an order. Now if I change that order by coming to this center position and flip my hands first, then that becomes another type of transition that takes you to still the same opposite side, but you did it here before moving to here. So what you develop is transition and then compatible motion. What's the dominant, what's the passive, what's the active. All of those things isn't so apparent when you're first doing it until you do it long enough and you discover that there's a difference. So that's really up to your practice to see if you can figure out what it is. Essentially what it is, it's the vertical, the horizontal, the alternating shoulder, the pivoting of the feet, and so forth. But if you look at the opening of the form, and I go open 1, 2, shift 3. That's one of my 45-degree legs. If I shift to here on my left side, I'm in my neutral position. I go forward, I go back. I kick my heel out like we turn, but it's 45 degrees, and I flip my hands here until I square my feet. I move my foot in. This side goes in, and this side goes out, and I go forward. After grasp the sparrow's tail, I'm in the hook position. My front foot moves 45 degrees, just like I was turning to here, right? But we stop at 45 degrees because in the form, we need to go to the corner to define that direction. We need to go directly to the side and open the stance to find the other corner, and then bring this hand across to here. Okay. So you see the value of the leg work, because now it's very precise that you're moving 45 degrees this way, 45 this way. You're pivoting off the toe this way to get to here. That happens in strum the lute. So when you first learn the form, you go through the motions. A lot of people have trouble saying, oh, I can't remember the first. What do I do with the feet? I can't remember the feet. I can't remember the hands. I can't. So it's a lot of information for a new person. That's why it's so difficult for a new person to come in day one and say, well, copy me. And then 45 minutes later, class is over, they go home, they come back, and it's like, I don't remember any of it. The advantage today that they have is we have video. We have streaming. And they can see it if they choose to. But even then, they're only learning through mimicking a movement. Really no real understanding of what happens to your feet, what happens to your hands. So what we just did is actually not the beginning stage, even though it's very basic and seems like it's a beginning thing. That's too complicated even for someone that's just coming in to learn the day in the beginning. So they really need to do the warm-ups and go through the whole process. And then once you start to identify with that, then it's kind of time to phase this in, or even wait till they finish the Tai Chi paradigm and then start to phase it in. Because even people that have been doing this for a while, 4 or 5 years, they say, oh, I can't follow that. It's too difficult because it's too compartmentized and takes too much control, and the sequence of events is even more complicated than doing this, because that doesn't have detail. That what we just did does. So that's something just, and it's an exercise. If you house it, you practice it. It's actually filmed, so you can video it. I did it this morning, and I just did it now. The morning, even it was the same thing, the way I explained it was a little bit different because it's always kind of live and spontaneous. So if you get something out of that, you can follow it, right? All right, let's go through the long form. And this is just, we all know it, so I don't have to really talk through this. Remember, one leg, one hand, one hand, one leg. Okay, then we'll go through the kicks. Planting punch. Crash the sparrows through first, yeah. Single whip. Okay, deep breathing. So, that's it. So that was nice and slow. So, sometimes you hear me say shift, and if you haven't saw some of the other videos, shifting is sometimes a double shift in the sinking. So when you say, like what Rob's doing there, when you go forward, you're in a 70-30 position, but to get to the next position, you have to shift again, right? So that's transitioning over that foot until you're 100% over. Otherwise, how can you actually make a controlled step, right? When you're doing cloud hands and we're here, you shift, shift, step. So you have, numerous shifts because you have to coordinate the, substantial and insubstantial, and also to get your body weight over the supporting foot. And it's very distinct, and it's very, it's part of the course of developing your substantial leg. So the more you do that, the more centered you're going to be over that empty supporting foot. You really, your goal is to get your tailbone over the heel of that foot, because that's your balance point. If you don't get your tailbone there, and it's somewhat there, you're always going to be feeling like not centered or off balance. So that's something that a lot of people don't realize in the beginning. But it's easier said than done to shift, and then shift, and then shift. Your joints have to be releasing enough to let you go there. If the joint doesn't let you go there, then you have to work toward getting the joint flexibility there, and also get the joint to respond to that action. That applies to every joint in your body. If you don't manipulate the joint by releasing the tension, then you can never find the correct joint position, simply because the musculature is resisting it. That's a conflict in movement, right? The biggest conflict in movement is tension. The best way to overcome that resistance is to move. Because if you move through it, you really will discover that the range of motion can be either increased through doing it over and often enough, so the joint will become more pliable. But a lot of it starts to know. If the joint's never been there before, the first time there, it's not going to realize that's supposed to happen. But if it goes there a lot, then your musculature that really controls that joint starts to become part of the mechanism that allows that to happen. So it's a motor skill. Everything happens through releasing of the joint by contractions. One side contracts, the other side releases. One side contracts, the other side releases. That balance has to happen there. If it doesn't happen there, then it's not happening here, because it's not telling it to do it. If it's not telling it to do it, it's because the concept is ununderstood. So that's on the level of a practitioner. So, that saying knowing is not knowing and so forth, that's true, because you have to go through this learning phase, at least identify with it. You just can't, get it to happen immediately, because it's just a message. It's just words that's stored here. It doesn't mean anything until you start to activate it or create that action. So that's really something that has to, it's part of evolving. You can't perfect something like Tai Chi or anything that requires skill in one sitting. You know, the only thing you can do at one sitting is devour all your food. And then you get up and then your body has to figure out what it's supposed to do with it. So then it's no longer, you know, part of that. So worst part of that seating is paying the bill. So anyways, got any questions? Anything? Actually, we did the form really slow, so I thought, you know, that would, you can pick up a lot of detail in it. The expansion and contracting, the folding and unfolding, especially in the kicks, it's pretty important. The step ups, you know, move one foot at a time and try to integrate the upper body's movement with what's going to happen below. And whatever happens above is going to reflect on what's going to happen again below. So that upper body and lower body relationship is tied to your body. Yeah. So when they say hand, eye, body, waist, and stance, the waist is really what they mean by that connection. And then the posture, the body form, is what you copy, you know, with the way you think it should look. Every posture has a specific look, and you have to kind of identify with it. So, okay, so we'll bow out and see you next time. So Wednesday, I think we're still going to have class next week, because it's the day before Thanksgiving. Yeah, because they're gonna want to be here anyway. So we'll just do the. Oh yeah. Well, we'll turn on the TV.